This is Maggie. Maggie came in because you can see, if you look at her eyes, you can tell which one's affected. It's this left eye, and it's got a real big swollen membranes of the eye. Those are membranes. It's not a tumor. And what we do when we see any problems with the eye, and of course what you should do is try to see if the clear part of the eye, the cornea, is clear. If it's milky or bloody or grayish, then you should take her in to get checked. What I always do is I take a little stain and I put it in the eye, and then I look for corneal ulcers on the eye itself. That's too much stain, so I'll have to wipe some off. So you can see that the greenish part, if that greenish part stains the eye, it means there's a scratch. And you can see there's no green stain that's staying there. And the funny thing is, her eye, Maggie keeps that eye open. If there was a scratch or corneal irritation, oftentimes they hold it closed because it hurts. And Maggie does that. It doesn't hurt. She's had it open. So what could that be? Well, if it's not a scratch in the cornea or a tumor or something in the eye, which would also make her hold it closed, then we often look down to the teeth area, and this carnesial tooth right here can be affected, and you can see it's bloody and there's a crack right there. So you can see that crack and that bloodiness. So there's probably an infection or an abscess developing on the tooth, carnesial root tooth, and it's causing this eye to have an infection behind the eye or in that general area. Sometimes what they'll do is they'll have abscesses that will come up here, and those carnesial tooth abscesses, we call them. But this is a good demonstration of just things to look out for. So if your dog has any eye problems, you always should take it to the vet. But you can check out the eye a little bit in the teeth to see if you see any infection or abscessed teeth.
Maggie's sure cute. That swollen eye membranes just look really strange. We see things like that, not exactly with the membranes are swollen up. We often see the abscesses on the side of the face due to tooth root infections. But anyway, other things that can cause those membranes to swell up commonly is a cat scratch, dog bite, piece of grass or foxtail in the eye membranes. But again, most of those things that scratch or corneal ulcer, that's a scratch on the cornea, a foreign body in the eye, those are all things that will make the dog or cat hold their eye closed. So you won't often see a dog with their eyes wide open like that with membranes sticking out like that. So hopefully the antibiotics did their trick. I didn't see Maggie back, but I think I would have if there was other problems. And just wanted to give you a heads up of what to look for if your dog, if it's after hours and your dog or cat shows up with swollen eye like that, you can always wash it out and check it out. See if there's anything obvious as far as just use warm water to wash it out. See if there's anything obvious in or around the eye, a wound, a piece of something. But again, if it's grayish and really painful and looks ugly, then you should probably go to the vet right away. You can download Dr. Greg's Dr. Greg's 11 Practical Home Remedies, and in there I have dosages of aspirin and Benadryl for dogs. With cats, it's hard to use anything because they're so sensitive, so I don't recommend using aspirin on cats unless they have a heart problem and other things. You can use a little Benadryl on cats, but they're much more sensitive, and most cats would only take like 5 milligrams. And it can't have any of the other stuff in it. It just has to have just the diphenhydramine. Well, have a good day. If you have a chance, check out Dog Dish Diet. I don't know how many people I've heard from lately that say that their dogs are doing so much better because they've taken them off allergenic ingredients like wheat. So many more dogs are allergic to chicken than they used to be. Some cats that had itchy skin or were really overweight, I just told the clients to feed them a couple pieces of raw meat or cooked meat a week, and it made a big difference. So there's just some real simple stuff you can do that you can learn about a dog dish diet or feed your pet to avoid the vet, both online at dogdishdiet.com. And they're not a lot of money, and they might make a big difference in your dog or cat or in their life. So anyway, have a great day.